Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason, and I am just off Route 66, and I'm at the site of where the former Summit Inn once stood. Summit Inn was a very popular Route 66 eatery, especially for those who are going to Las Vegas from Los Angeles. So I'm going to go ahead and show you around and show you what I know. Here we go. And again, this was once a popular Route 66 eatery. It was, let's see, 2016. So it was 6 years ago this month of August 2022 that this place was burned down by the Blue Cut fire, unfortunately. I mean, one day it was here, the next day it was gone. It was in flames and it was all destroyed. And there have been plans of redeveloping it, but unfortunately, yeah, I mean, plans never came into fruition. But only the sign over there has survived, and that is my friend, Adventure Vin. I'll put the link to this channel. He's doing a video here too, so he's gonna introduce me. So the building first opened in 1928 and originally went through many incarnations, but it wasn't until 1952 when the Summit Inn was established, and then 1997 it was remodeled. It got its name from being literally at the summit of the Cajon Pass. And if you see those mountains right over there, I mean, right after I do this video, I'm going to go with Vin to down towards the LA basin. And by the way, this is outside, not to get off subject, but this is outside Victorville in Hesperia, California. And once we get to the LA basin, things are going to look very differently on Route 66, because that's when, you know, the open road vibe will end and I'll be seeing more civilization. How's that? But going back to the Summit Inn, it got its name from being literally at the summit at the Cajon Pass. I mean, it was the first thing you saw when you go northbound on Route 66. And that right there is Interstate 15. Well, that's what we call it back home in the Midwest, but Californians, they always say the 15. I definitely got to speak their language when they're over here, or the lingo, I should say. But for many years, it held the distinction as being the only business to be seen once going up from the LA basin. The restaurant was famous for their ostrich burgers, their emu egg omelets, sorry, and their buffalo burgers. It had a lot of famous clients like Clint Eastwood, Pierce Brosnan, Danny Thomas, and Pearl Bailey. Another notable one was Elvis Presley, who, there's a little funny story to go with this one. He came in there and reportedly kicked the jukebox after discovering none of his records were in there. I don't know what year it was, but he apparently left without eating. And like I was saying in the intro, many Las Vegas entertainers would stop in there en route to Sin City from the City of Angels. The place once had a lot of autographed celebrities. I guess those who stopped in there. They adorned the walls, as well as a lot of old memorabilia. And there's that Route 66 Facebook group, and there's like over 50,000 members, and I was asking about it, and people were like, oh yeah, that was once a great place to eat. I mean, you definitely would have loved it, the food and everything. It was a great breakfast and lunch eatery. So yeah, I mean, hearing that kind of thing, I mean, it's always a good feeling of nostalgia, but of course it stinks that I can't eat there. But I am literally standing on the grounds of it. I'm going to take you close to that sign where that truck is parked. It's always easy to forget that once you're closer to the freeway, or the 15, or interstate, whatever you want to call it, the traffic gets louder. But I'll speak up as loud as I can. But yes, again, the sign has survived, and there's a truck parked there. It's probably sleeping. But if you can see it, the Eat sign is there. And I guess the Summit Inn lettering is gone, replaced with a redevelopment opportunity. And down here, there's plenty of trash. So I mean, right now it's kind of sad looking. And then you had the Chevron gas station. And then I'm going to ask Vince where it literally once stood. This is Vince, by the way.
All right, are we rolling?
Yeah.
All right, sorry guys. So when it was standing, it was in this vicinity. We would be standing in what was the parking lot.
Okay.
So you're looking southbound, California perspective. So right there between, I always say where the light is that goes over the freeway to this power pole is where the restaurant was situated, kind of where that flat plateau is.
Gotcha.
When the Blue Cut fire came through, it didn't destroy it totally, but it damaged it to the point where they just tore it down.
Okay, I thought I read that. I read otherwise, but that's good. That's good to know.
As I drove up and down, you could see some of the remnants.
Oh.
So two things that I regret living in Southern California: I never went there when it was operational, and I wish I would have done a video where it showed some of the debris and the remains. But that's the direction you're looking, southbound, and that's where it's at.
Okay. So it was August 16th. So in other words, today is the 14th. So 2 days from tomorrow marks the 6th anniversary of it being no more. That's bizarre. Wow. And what's the mountain range over there?
That's the San Bernardino Mountains.
Okay.
So right out, and this would be the Cajon Pass. So as soon as you travel southbound, we're gonna drop down into a lower altitude. It's a pretty good drop where your climate's gonna change and you're gonna get more into the stop and go see the atmosphere. Cool.
All right, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. Stay tuned for more California Route 66 adventures. And I'm on my way down the Cajon Pass into the Blue Cut and seeing some more stuff. Looking forward to this rest of the day. So this is my first stop. Thanks for joining me. I am Jason at the old side, the Summit Inn. Signing off.